Hello, it is me, Lena, and I still have ADHD, and I have done a term as a head teacher of two primary schools, and it's the 8th of October. It's my husband's birthday. So the first thing I want to say is that without him, I wouldn't be where I am. And that is the first thing to say. I think with reflection today is that people who can support you and know you and understand you are very important in your life when you have ADHD. And Steve has been long suffering, particularly before we knew that I had ADHD, which is a lot of our relationship and a lot of our time together. And so I first of all want to just say a huge thank you and happy birthday to him. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is taking some time for his birthday and there. This is short because I'm up against time because we're going out shortly to go out, and I'm getting my hair cut, and we're going to have lunch, and we're going to go shopping and do some things like that. So this can't just be a random waffle, which is quite good because it means I'll be focused. What I really want to say is that knowing more about myself over the last few weeks has really, really helped me to do my job and to get through what's been a really tough term. Tough because schools everywhere are still dealing with the after effects of the pandemic. Tough because everything's been new for me, which, while my ADHD brain loves novelty and loves the excitement and the adrenaline, the flip side of that is that it's hugely anxiety provoking for me not to have kind of routines. So there's that whole thing of, whilst my ADHD brain wants things to be exciting and stimulating, and that there needs to be that safe ground of routine, because the other bit of my brain really needs that. But on the whole, it's gone well. And what I've realised actually is that every single person in the two organisations that I lead needs the same as me in terms of what's coming up next and feeling safe and secure, and just that sort of trust in the future. Because I think what the pandemic did for a lot of us, whether we've got ADHD or not, is to make the world feel unsafe, because we didn't know genuinely for quite a long time whether the thing was going to get us and whether we were going to die. And I think for children that was incredibly difficult, but for adults too. And I don't think we should underestimate that. And I think that for those of us who've always had that way of thinking because of ADHD, always had that needing to plan and control and be certain about the future, which in fact isn't a certain thing. There's that for ADHD people, but for everybody, we had that experience during the pandemic. And I think, therefore, any organisation now that can provide that psychological safety, that, yep, we plan and we know what's coming up next, I think that's really important. And for children in particular, when they're learning, if they don't have that, they can't learn because they're constantly hypervigilant about the world. So there's a little summary there. I have 13 staff. I have 56 pupils, and I have their associated families to lead, care for. I think that's it. It's not about leadership, it's not about power, it's about caring and making sure that they're all okay and doing the best they can. And what's been fantastic is getting to know, I think, all of them well, and building relationships. As I say, it hasn't all been easy, and as always in organizational change, you get a period of honeymoon and then you get a period of difficulty. And I hope that we have weathered some storms together, and I hope that when we go back, we will continue the journey. I have 2 weeks off and no plans to go away, and I'm going to have to make sure that I plan my time really well. But I do feel a sense of accomplishment, and a sense of optimism. And I'm not completely exhausted, because I've been able to just keep a sense of every day having a bit of focus and a bit of checking in with myself, and doing these videos has really helped. And that's my alarm going off, so I have to stop. There's a lot of words there, a lot of thinking, and the last thing I'm just going to say though is that I have been in a similar place before. 6 years ago, I kind of, before my diagnosis though, so I kind of got to a place where I knew I was driving myself too much and I was going to take time off. And then what happened was that two young people who I was working with in quite a short amount of time died. And for me, the trauma of that really set me back. And that at a time when the working environment that I was in, and the space that I was in, didn't feel safe to me. And so I suppose what I'm saying is, life happens, and what we have to do is keep coming back to the things that we know. And for me, it's all about regulation. It's all about stopping, checking in, and working out why we're doing what we're doing. And going back to those values of, for me, it's people and connections and relationships and helping people to make sense of this world. And 53 years of trying to make sense, if I can share a bit of it and help other people, then that's what I'd like to do. But also always to remember that I can't help other people if I don't help myself. So there we go. Nothing new really. Thanks so much if you've tuned in and you've watched, and yay, we've made it. If you're in Scotland, we've made it to the holidays. If you're in England or elsewhere, you will make it, and you've made it to the weekend, and it's Saturday. So just, if you're feeling driven, if you're feeling agitated, just take a break, take a break, and think, what's that about? And do I need to be on this hamster wheel, and can I just step off for a minute? So, and happy birthday again, Steve, if you watch this. I'm not sure anyone watches these anymore. I think they do. Lots of love. Bye for now. Have a lovely day.